Sacramento.
Drapes, how old were you when your broadcasting career began?
Woo, that's a good question. 25, 27. I was a late bloomer.
The great Gary Gerould, who joins us now, according to Wiki, he got his start broadcasting when he was age 15.
Really?
Yeah, let's find out if it's true. How are you today, G-Man?
I'm more than tolerable. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Is it true, as your Wiki page states, that you started as a broadcaster at age 15 at a telegraph station?
A telegraph station. I like it. It's like the days of the Pony Express. I'm not quite that old. I am old. But yeah, I started as a teenager. I was 14, 15 when I first had an opportunity to have my own show at a local radio station in my hometown of Midland, Michigan.
How about that?
Good stuff, G.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, can we get your thoughts here? Not that we expect you to have any idea what's going on, but there have been so many surprising moves in the NBA this year. What was your reaction to hearing the news about Michael Malone being dismissed by the Nuggets?
Well, I was stunned. I think, like most other folks, in the fact that this has happened now, 2 times with Memphis and in Denver in the final weeks of a regular season. It's a different world that we're living in. And I think that, it wasn't really a secret that there was friction between Malone and Calvin Booth as the general manager. And maybe they weren't tight and close and weren't the best of friends. But still, when you're coming down to the last week of the regular season, to have that happen, I was kind of blindsided by that.
Yeah, G-Man, me too. But the good news for Sacramento is we see this Denver team in turmoil tomorrow. We'll talk about the road trip coming up in a second, but how do you see this one playing out, considering that the Kings are on this 3-game winning streak and Denver's reeling right now?
Well, I think it's maybe easy to draw a conclusion that because Denver is reeling, that will open a door of opportunity for the Kings. But it's been my experience, excuse me, coughing up a lung here. Hang on. It's been my experience that when a team makes a coaching change, everybody kind of comes together. They refocus, they reunify. A great opportunity for David Adelman, the son of Rick Adelman, who was, of course, coach that had such amazing success in Sacramento for 8 different years. So I expect the opposite. I think that Denver is going to come fully loaded for bear, that they will want to prove a point, and I think the Kings better lace them up tight tomorrow night, no question.
Great. Gary Gerould, nice enough to join us. You know better than anybody how hard it is, G-Man, to figure this team out. Is it possible over the last 3 games that they may have figured something out as a team?
Well, you hope that that's the case. I certainly didn't see the success of these last 2 games in a back-to-back scenario at the end of one of the longest road trips of the year. But the win in Cleveland was as satisfying as any win the Kings have had this season, including their road win in Boston against the Celtics much earlier. And then to back it up on the second night with travel back-to-back in Detroit against a very respectable Detroit club. Mm-hmm. And the way the Kings took over in the second half and really dominated the outcome of that ball game was very impressive. So what does that mean to Sacramento hopes? Well, I hate the tanking talk. I know you guys were talking about it in your last segment a little bit, and I've never been a fan of that kind of talk. Unless you've got a generational player who could be in play, I have yet to see in my years that I can recall, draft pick in the 12, 13, 14 spot, whatever, come in and have a heavy impact for a team. Yeah, they may blossom over a course of a period of time, but I think that's to me, that's thinking and looking in the wrong direction. And I'm a big believer of playing the hand you're dealt. And maybe that sounds cliche-ish, but I really do believe that. And there's not a thing that you, me, anybody else, fans can do about. We can speculate, we can chatter and talk all we want, and that's the fan perspective, of course, but it doesn't mean a thing. So I'm just one of those that believes, all right, here's what you've got. Here's what you're dealing with. Do your best to make it better. And that's one of the things that I really like about Doug Christie. I think that he checks a lot of boxes in that respect. And I congratulate him. He's had so much thrown at him in 3.5 months of time since he took over the coaching reins of the Kings. And I hope he gets good, serious consideration for extending and making that job permanent for him. And I'm kind of digressing from your question, but those are some of the random thoughts that just come off the top of the old gray-haired fella's head.
The great G-Man, Gary Gerould. Hey, G-Man, you've seen some great performances in Sacramento Kings history. What do you make of the heater that Zach is on as of late?
Man, I'm loving it. I've been somewhat mystified. I appreciate the fact that when you make changes in the middle of the season, it takes probably much more time than any of us would believe to get people in their comfort zone, to get their confidence there. And I think Zach has been struggling with that. And Doug had talked at different times about, we want Zach to come in and be himself and let us, fit around him, utilize his talent and his skills rather than worrying about trying to fit in. Well, I think we're seeing that happen. And of course, these last 2 games have just been sensational. The guy knocking down 15 of 22 threes in the span of about 27 hours. Now the number 1 3-point shooter in the NBA by percentage points. So you love that. He's been shooting the ball well. But the thing that I've enjoyed seeing is an aggressive Zach LaVine, not always looking for the 3, but finding a way to still, he has amazing explosiveness and athleticism. He can get to the rim so easy and effortlessly on occasion. And I've sometimes wondered in my own mind, why aren't we seeing more of this? Mm-hmm. Why is it, is he trying to settle in? Now, I don't know that it's been generally known, and I don't think I'm telling anything out of school, but after that horrendous loss in the middle of the road trip in Washington, there was a players and coaches meeting, and the air was cleared on a number of topics, and communication issues were addressed, and some likes and dislikes were openly talked about. And we saw the result with a good positive effort in the next game in Charlotte, and then these 2 tremendous back-to-back wins against 2 highly respected teams, the Cavaliers and the Pistons. So maybe the Kings have turned a corner. But I'm also not naive, guys. I've been asked multiple times this year, is this maybe the craziest season that you've experienced? And in many, many ways, I say unequivocally, yes. I can't recall a season where we've been on such a dramatic roller coaster ride. Yeah. Every year there are disappointments. Every year there are unexpected wins, things that, keep you going and fuel the fire. And this has been a strange and rocky path that the Kings have traversed here over the last several months.
That, of course, the great Gary Gerould, nice enough to join us. As we look at potential signs, indicators that this team is coming together, G-Man, how significant do you think it is that in each of the last 3 wins, which followed the meeting that you alluded to, Domas and DeMar and Zach have all had big games at the same time? It seems to me that's a pretty good indicator that they might be figuring this out as a big 3.
Yeah, anytime you get 92 points 2 nights ago in Cleveland from the big 3, and then get 99, I think it was last night from that trio, something is being done right, and some of the right buttons are being pushed. That's impressive stuff. And you have, you look at any team that has success in the NBA, and you have to have multiple stars, marquee type players. And the Kings aren't, the brightest light on the marquee by any stretch of the imagination. But you look at the capabilities and you look at what we've seen from that trio of Sabonis, DeRozan, LaVine in the last 2 days. I'm impressed, and I'm loving it. And maybe it's just because I've been starved for something good to happen. Because, we don't want to come down to the end of the season and we forget, I think, and I say the collective we, that how abrupt a season can end.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to end on Sunday afternoon. I want them to have the play-in opportunity, and it would be marvelous if they could have it on the home floor against Dallas on, the following Wednesday of next week. And then, you hope you win and you hope you get a chance to go on the road and sneak your way into the playoffs. And sure, you're going to have to go up. If you do, you got to go up against Oklahoma City. Oh, no sweat there, of course, in a best-of-7 series. So, but I think from the fan base standpoint and from the organization standpoint, you want to look at that and say, okay, it's a crumb, but it's a modicum of success. And it indicates that you're still on the right path, despite a season that's had so much change.
Speaking of crumbs, I'll have to make sure and ask if you want a cookie tomorrow night, G-Man, in the dining area.
No, he'll probably say no. Hey, G-Man, real quick before we let you go, I don't know if you heard us. He asked me, hey, have you ever hung out with G-Man on the road? I invite G-Man out all the time, man. Hey, next time we go on the road, maybe next season, can you take me to some of your favorite places, your favorite restaurants, G-Man?
If you like hole-in-the-wall places.
Love hole-in-the-wall places.
Because I'm just not one for, fancy dining. Yeah, it's wonderful. And one of the things that I love about the Kings organization in the last couple of years, that the whole travel party, you're treated as family, as it should be. It's not us against the world in terms of the coaching staff and the players. Everybody in the travel party is included. And I love that. And I like that atmosphere. And that hasn't always been the case over many, many years with the Sacramento Kings. So, Drapes, in answer to your question, I'm a bit of a, I'm a bit of a loner on the road. You've discerned that now over 5 years.
All right, I'm not going to take it personal then, G-Man. I'm not taking it personal, man.
Yeah, well, that's the key. I mean, I don't want. If I thought you were taking it personally, I would almost be in tears. I never.
Hey, it's interesting though, fellas, because G-Man will post, and I'll be like, damn, that looks like a good spot.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
actually
does.
a hole in the wall, local kind of spot too, G-Man. So I may have to get a list from you of best restaurants and hole in the wall spots on the road.
Yeah, well, over the years, you kind of accumulate some of those places you really look forward to sticking your head in there and seeing if those chili dogs still rise to the occasion.
That's what I tell him, G-Man. He's only been here 5 years. He's still a pup compared to you. Yeah. All right. Thanks, G-Man. We'll see you tomorrow night. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and let's have some fun these 3 remaining games, and let's go on from there.
Yes.
All right, G-Man.
Take care. When we come back, there's a biotech company that says it has brought an